I wouldn't go out with you if you...
Negative energy.
I would.
Negative energy.
Yeah.
Negative I.
Negative energy.
Now, I don't know.
Were you able to find it?
What?
Were you able to find it?
Yeah, my Apple is right in front of me.
The space-time continuum?
Well, I don't think that this show coincides with the space-time continuum.
I think it does. Terrence McKenna is he's an expert on hallucinogens, psychedelic drugs.
I'm sure you're more than just a pretty face.
You're on the air, church man.
Hey, how's it going? The church?
Move away from your radio.
Church man. Huh? Is your name Sonia? Hello?
Turn your radio down, church man.
Alright, cool. Got it.
The answers to your future. By calling this number, the answers to your future.
Can I hear the church?
I don't know. By calling this number, the answers to by calling this number, the answers to your by calling this number.
The church? Have you found the space-time continuum yet?
By calling this number and answering vital questions, the answers to your future.
Can I hear anything by the church? The Church of Latter-day Saints? Might as well be. We should play something by the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints. Who knows? We could. The space-time continuum of the Latter-day Saints. I doubt that. No, I don't know. Who knows? Has anybody found space-time continuum?
How do you know your child loves you?
No, I don't know.
Came to me with tears in her eyes, and she said, "Daddy,
Isn't it about time?
thank you for coming
Time
home
continuum?
every night when we were growing up."
Family.
What?
Space, isn't it about time?
Time from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
When
By the church?
Satan knocks at my
Of Latter-day Saints, we just played it.
and says, "May I come in?"
No, I don't know.
No, for Jesus loves
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed
me
now.
so and took
Thank you.
away
Are you sleeping in the space-time
my
continuum?
sin. So he turns
Have a good night.
around and runs away. I wish he'd go away to stay.
No, I don't
When Mr. Satan knocks at my heart's door, I just say yes, say yes, say yes,
No, I...
yes, say yes, say yes,
No.
say
No, I gotta hear the church. No, I don't know.
Space Force sheets of light.
Seized by the fear of stalkers. Seized by the fear of stalkers.
No, I don't know.
Seized by the fear of stalkers.
Mom, don't go into the light.
The world is...
Vampire.
Nothing you can do? Complete mutual trust.
The world is...
Vampire.
A tragedy on the limousine.
No, I don't know.
A tragedy that's almost beyond description. A tragedy that's almost...
Are you just trying to torture me?
You didn't know the toilet from the hamper.
To claim the bodies.
The world is...
Are you just trying to torture me? I told you.
The world is...
A tragedy that's almost beyond description.
Time's running out.
And I understand you want a baby.
Thank you, sir.
And I understand you want a baby.
I don't want you to tell on me.
And I understand you want a baby.
I don't want you to
Play
tell
something by
on
Hole.
me.
Thank you, sir.
I won't tell you.
And I understand you want a baby.
No, I don't know. Magazine.
You to tell on me.
I won't tell you.
Thank you, sir.
And I understand you want a baby.
I don't want you to tell on me.
I won't
When Mr. Satan knocks at my heart's door, I just
My faith in God and my trust in you.
And I understand you want a baby.
My faith in God and my trust in you.
You want a baby.
Subject of wings and everyone and everything but yourself.
And I understand you...
You can get
get through this.
And I understand you want a baby.
You can get through. You think of a better...
The way women are so compatible.
You think of a better witness.
And I understand you want a baby.
What are you doing?
Wasted out of their mind.
This town is white trash.
Wasted out of their mind.
Where are you taking?
Wasted
Full of white trash.
What are you doing?
Garbage.
Wasted.
What are you doing?
What? Wasted. And I understand. What do you...
This pressure of survival.
I won't tell you anything.
Thank you, sir.
We are trying to help you.
Thank you, sir.
We are trying to help you.
Hard to survive in garbage.
I don't want you to tell on me.
Take place within 30 days or less.
Are you just trying to torture me?
I won't tell you anything.
Are you just trying to torture me?
I won't tell you anything.
Are you just trying to torture me?
I won't tell you.
Is there nothing you can do? Where are you taking?
I won't tell you anything.
Wasted.
What are you doing?
I don't want you to tell on me.
Thank you, sir. An imaginary food out of the air. Put it in your mouth. Shoot it up and swallow it. While you're chewing,
We'll go fly.
but after you swallow, push along the digestive tract by
Millions for thousands more. A sentence is 100.
This is what the subject teaches.
FM, and the Grateful Dead recorded right here at your very own Harper College.
Something wrong if I just walk up to somebody and blow his brain.
And the Grateful Dead recorded right here at your very own Harper College. Grateful Dead recorded right here at your very own Harper College.
He portrayed himself as Jesus Christ
When I walk the short city block, it's easy to remember a million kilometers.
Jesus Christ
10 is the number.
Go ahead with your question. Can you rephrase that, please?
Meade claims that prayer.
This is the party of the year.
Meade claims.
This is the party of the year.
Meade claims.
We'll call you right back.
This is the party of...
I do not have TMS.
Poverty, misery, despair.
This is the party of the year.
Poverty, misery, despair.
This is the party of the year.
Poverty, misery,
This is the party of the year.
People who need to control others and are looking for the power.
This is the party of the year.
is possessed by evil spirits.
This is the party of the year.
Shot and killed a man.
This is the party of the year.
Shot and killed a man.
This is the party of the year.
That is an electroshock device.
This is the party of the year.
To a sister.
Device. We have used it on you before.
Thank you, sir.
That is an electroshock device. We have used it on you before. I don't want you to tell on me.
Thank you, sir.
Shot and killed. That is an electroshock device. We have used it on you before. We are trying to help you. That is an electroshock device. We have used it on you before. We are trying to help you.
Thank you, sir.
Are you just trying to torture me?
To claim the body. To claim the body. To claim the body. To claim the body. Thank you, sir.
Shot and killed a man.
That is an electroshock device.
Seized by the fear of stalkers.
An imaginary piece of food out of the air. Put it in your mouth.
That is an electroshock device.
I got sick in my stomach.
An imaginary piece of food out of the air. Put it in your mouth.
I got sick in my stomach.
An imaginary piece of food out of the air. Put it in your mouth.
I got sick in my stomach.
An imaginary piece of food out of the air. Put it in your mouth. Chew it up.
I got sick in my stomach.
An imaginary piece of food out of the air. Put it in your mouth. Chew it up and swallow it.
I got sick in my stomach.
That is an electroshock device.
Thank you, sir. An imaginary piece of food.
I got sick in my stomach.
We are trying to help you.
Thank you, sir.
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
I got sick in my stomach.
I don't want you to tell on me.
Shut up, I can handle this.
I won't tell you.
Shut up, I can handle.
I won't tell you.
Shut up,
I won't.
Shut up,
I won't.
Shut up,
This pressure.
I won't.
shut up,
This pressure.
shut up,
I won't.
shut up,
I won't.
shut up,
I won't.
shut up, I can handle.
We are.
Shut up,
We are.
shut up, I
Say,
can handle.
that's a pretty long face.
Shut up,
That is an electroshock.
shut up,
That is an
Daddy, why do you shoot animals?
Shut up, I can handle this.
Daddy, why do you shoot animals?
Shut up, I can handle it.
Daddy, why do you shoot animals?
Shut up, I can handle it.
Act in self-defense.
Shut up, I can handle it.
And I will give him.
Act in self-defense.
Shot and killed a man.
Act in self-defense.
Daddy, why do you shoot animals?
How do you know your child loves you?
Animals.
Act in self-defense.
Daddy, why do you shoot animals?
Act in self-defense.
Though you live far away, you are never alone. All you have to do is use a telephone and you're face to face with a friend in any place. Many interesting things can now easily be seen.
How do you know your child loves you?
Looking at a television.
Our next youngest daughter.
Birds are cute and be comfortable too. The newspaper and the movie show take you anywhere you care to go.
Hey, what's wrong?
I struck out again.
Tell you quickly what you want to know. There's a teletype going day and night, and the latest thing they call the satellite, whose message is now raised down to Earth from outer space.
Even the babe struck out once in a while.
Newspaper and the movie show take you anywhere you care to go. The telegraph and the radio
Say,
tell you quickly what you want to know.
that's a pretty long face.
Teletype going day and night, and the latest thing they call the satellite, whose message is now raised down to Earth from outer space.
Shock device.
Act in self-defense.
Shot and killed a man.
Act in self-defense.
Daddy, why do you shoot animals?
Act in self-defense.
And I will.
Act in self-defense.
This pressure of survival.
Act in self-defense.
You shouldn't live in the past because you could die from.
These are people who need to control others and are looking for the power.
The alcoholics versus the codependents.
What is best in life?
The black.
It's blank, like
Something wrong about you.
one woman was
Denounced.
We were bathing her in the bathroom and she stopped breathing.
Bummer.
We were bathing her in the bathroom and she stopped.
But what have we really learned about
What's
cults?
wrong?
I struck out again.
But what have we really learned about cults and how to handle them?
I know gonna hurt you.
Isn't it true that you have no regard for him?
Look, son, even the babe struck out once in a while.
I know gonna hurt you. I spaced 4 sheets of.
Thank you, sir.
To his sister?
Outside. I know gonna hurt you.
Well, you got a point.
Trying to help you, but so far we have not been able to reach you. I know gonna hurt you.
The second nightmare of the week.
I know gonna hurt you.
With that, I'll grab my mitt.
Nuclear testing is safe.
I know gonna hurt you.
Isn't it true?
If you're going to be a part of it, you must not question him at all.
Shut up, I can handle this.
And I will.
Act in self-defense.
Daddy, why do you shoot animals?
I think if we're going to have freedom of religion, you can't tell people when to stop.
Daddy, why do you shoot animals?
Because I listen to WHRW Binghamton 90.5 FM.
We're going to have freedom of religion, you can't tell
Station
people
ID.
when to stop.
Isn't it about
By
time?
the fear of stalkers.
Space 4.
Daddy, why do you shoot animals?
I think if we're going to have freedom of religion, you can't tell people when to stop.
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Stop talking.
I think if we're going to have freedom of religion, you can't tell people when to stop.
Stop talking to me.
I think if we're going to have freedom of religion, you can't tell people when you
Stop talking to me. I won't tell you anything.
I don't want you to tell them. We are trying
Oh,
to
boy,
help
this
you.
sounds like fun. And I understand you want a baby.
Getting up and putting on a show for
What
your
do you
friends
say
can
at a
lead
moment
to
like that?
putting on
Thank
shows
you,
in your
sir.
school,
Wasted
for
out of their
instance,
mind.
or
Thank you, sir.
what are you doing?
We are trying to help you.
Thank you, sir.
What do you say at a moment like
What are you doing?
I don't want you. We are trying to help you.
What do you say at a moment like that?
Well, I didn't promise that,
What are you doing?
But I do hope that we can
handle this.
teach on this album some of the
It's an
pointers
electroshock
we picked
device.
up over
What are
the
you
years
doing?
performing
Thank you,
all over
sir.
the world.
What do you say at a moment like
You
that?
mean, Mr. Nelson, that whether our student wants to become a professional ventriloquist or just become a good amateur, he can learn from this album? Is that what you mean?
Exactly, Farfel. Now, in our last album, we taught him how to talk without moving his lips.
Yeah?
Now we're going to teach him how to get up there and really put on a show.
Goody. When do we start?
Well, right now. Let's get ready for lesson number 1.
Call 777-2137.
Now, you know, Danny, Farfel,
Yeah?
Yeah.
and most of all our student listening here, every ventriloquist, once he's mastered the art of talking without moving his lips, must constantly practice to see that he doesn't lose his technique.
What do you mean?
Well, Danny, a little practice in front of the mirror every day, that's very important.
Well, I practice in front of the mirror every day.
How can you stand to look at that face?
Now,
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Point. It's easy to let your ventriloquism slide when you're involved in homework.
How do you know your child loves you?
When he calls and he says, Dad, why don't we,
Family. Isn't it about time? From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
It can be as easy
How do you know your child loves you?
Thank you for coming home every night when we were growing up.
Family. Isn't it about time? From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Do you remember that, Danny?
Yeah, I remember that. The simple alphabet. That's the easy sound. A, C,
From the Church of
D,
Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
G, H, I, J, K, L, M, O, Q, R, S, T, U, X,
From the Church
Z.
of Jesus
Oh,
Christ
that's
of
easy.
Latter-day Saints.
And
From
let's
the
see,
Church
the
of Jesus
difficult
Christ of
sound.
Latter-day Saints.
Yeah, I remember you have to substitute another sound while thinking the original sound. Like for B, I say D while thinking of B. Is that right?
Right, Danny.
And for F, I say F, like ETH, while I'm thinking of F. I remember that.
Right, Danny.
For M, I Daddy, why do you say shoot animals?
Mm-hmm.
M, thinking of M. For P, I say T.
Act in self-defense.
Daddy, why do you shoot animals? But I think P when I say it, right?
Right.
And for V, I say
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
V, like THE, and think of
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
What else?
For W, I say W, but I think of W. And for Y, I just say
Hey, what's wrong?
I struck out again.
Even the babe struck out once in a while. Oh, you got a point. Well, here's the bat. I'll grab my mitt.
Family. Isn't it about time? From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
it's a matter of time, it's a matter of love, it's a factor of chance, till I self-destruct. You fire at random, I'm under attack, strapped in and freewheeling, flying off the track. I wanna be your time bomb. Reply, is it on? Let me be your time bomb.
What's wrong?
Baby, is it on? I wanna be
Even the babe struck out once in a while.
Your sister?
Well, you got a point. Well, here's the bat. I'll grab my mitt.
Family, isn't it about time? From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Church of Jesus Christ, 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 Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Church of Jesus Christ, Church of Jesus Christ, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Church of Jesus Christ, Church of Jesus Christ, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
The final principle we give is better be here early than 1 second. Why? Because if you're too late, you're too late.
Church of Jesus Christ, Church of Jesus Christ, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You don't wait for your children to run into the street. You don't wait for your children to take down a bottle of cola over here and over here. You don't wait for your children to stick the key into electric sockets and they need to come out. Oh, I didn't want to tell you to do that. If the TV is hanging, the baby goes to the mother. You wait for medicine check. You don't wait till the car is bearing down on them, then you tell them to stay out of the street. When the child will know the meaning of love, the pure meaning of love is say, you know, when we love someone we want to show we're one with them, that means we're going to be one with God in heaven for all eternity. That is why we do the one that we do. Be one in a very special way. You know, I told you before, God wants only married people who have babies, because look, if they're not married, who'll take care of the baby? Who could give what? On sex education. You want not just in spirit when they say they love each other, ideally, both father and
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
A time like that in a very loving embrace which only God could see, so private, you keep the privacy of the marriage act, sacredness. At a time like that, you know, in disciplining, this is so important that they know father and mother are united, kind of the wife.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Egg there, then the baby grows there. Don't discuss the disagreement before them. What, Father? I'd be horrified if I told my children that.
The children may be rather
Insecure and unhappy if they see that you will even appear. I know some children, they are even worried. They show that nervousness if mother and dad even see mother and dad even and this is the filthy story. This is the way it happens. This is the way it happens. It goes with it. It goes with it. The mother and father start to tease each other. The children. No. We don't want daddy and mommy fighting. If you're reverent, everything fits. Everything so much with the child. So ideally, the child should know he can go to either mother or father on this. That's the marriage act. And it would go to the mother of a boy, or I beg your pardon. We are going to discuss the closing 2 points. First of all, emission of seed in the male and menstruation in the female. The other could do the job. At puberty, only a mother would know what her girl is going through. Do not realize that in the male there is a spontaneous flow of seed at puberty. This is a matter of experience. Nonetheless, the rule in this area is this: if one or the other cannot or will not do it, that sex should do it that can do the better job, or that can do it.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Because there's a flow of seed at nighttime. So that's who should do it. No pleasure, he may wake up during it. What do we mean by puberty? Should know, but see, about a teaspoonful or 2 teaspoonfuls of sperm will escape from his penis and bear new life. This is God's way of telling him he can now be a father. The only reliable sign is that coming puberty is the growth of this coarse hair in the genital areas of the body. Instead of telling him he can be a father, that doesn't mean too much. Also, he should know already that God puts a very special pleasure in the private parts of our body areas. Then you know that within a few months, your girl will be having her first menstrual period, and your boy will be having his first emission of seed at nighttime. Just wait nighttime. Let God's providence take care of it. You know that, so he doesn't worry. He's not shocked. One little fellow thought it was sediment from the urine, had no idea what it was emitting, coming from his penis. You know, the old cartoonist ridicule, of a bumbling father talking to a boy that needs to shave. That's years too late. Doubt. They don't know it exists, and therefore the husband or any other, the occasion doesn't come up to tell it. So I mentioned that it should be known. Now, it normally happens, as I say, about in 8th grade for the boys, and roughly around 12 to 13. But again, they should know about it before it happens. How long does this keep up? How frequent is it?
You think to get the
menstruation, or puberty. The reason being because of puberty, they have a body which already is sexually able to react. I say on the average twice a month. This doesn't mean that it's on schedule. Penis. So we start out. By the way, when is average twice a month? Sixth grade is starting to menstruate. Some doctors say it stops in the 20s, some say it stops in the 30s. And remember, she can be very, very irregular at the beginning too. 50s. Occasionally, the husband is using his sperm in marriage will take it as something of which he can be proud, because this is a sign he's really growing up. Simply sloughs off seed which it does not absorb.
I'm sorry, are you saying...
So, the boy should know about this. Always. Father John says, female starts talking 2 years before the male, containing sexual pleasure without bringing about. And all during his life, and she's still talking to beat the band every time he's in sleep. Male, 6 feet under. It says about twice a month. Hell is ahead of the male. Now, if it's important that the boy should know about this, now about her, girls should know about it so that menstruation won't be shocked, because there she thinks and immediately give all the statements that should be said. No stork whatsoever. You can see why girls should know about menstruation. Otherwise, incidentally, the boys should know too. So they'll be gentlemen, so they won't ask embarrassing questions. Penis. Off the hook at St. Francis Hospital. Penis. That's the wrong kind of napkin for the supermarket. And he gets the bill. Oh, but school was not in session. And he came out and he told his playmates, you know what? Penis. The girl's got a slot machine in their place. One mother told her boy that. To her horror, she hears the little fellow on the sidewalk asking his playmates, Penis, does your mama eat babies too?
Well, come on, put us back on the air.
It's a much more serious side when girls don't. I don't see no baby down there. Bernard Moore, the priest psychiatrist at Catholic University of America, formerly tells the story of the girl in junior high leading the band on the football field between halves. Then she suddenly feels blood running down her legs. She was so ashamed and shocked by it, she ended up with a year in a mental institution. One of the men at these talks came to me and says, Father, you don't know how important this is. Penis. For 9 long months. You know what this stuff is, huh? My heart. Penis. One woman said I ran out of the street in hysterics. Penis. Mother Mary. Tell me, my sister wouldn't tell me. Jesus was born on Christmas Day. That's how you were born for Mommy. Not grade. The girl in 6th grade was living.
How do you know your child loves you?
Nobody give her any advice.
Daughter goes to the
high school
that I'm the registrar at, and
now you've got to be sure you got that little wandering mind at the moment there. Clowns of the
there's a note on my desk, and it'll usually say, Mom, I love you. I'm thinking about you.
Family. Isn't it about time? From
fed her home in disgrace because of her tight sweater. Penis. When you have your nylon sweater, you put it over your head, it stretches to let your head through. Penis. She thought she was dying, not knowing what was going on, more dismayed and discouraged and depressed than ever, and she simply committed suicide. Easy thing, but Mommy's real gratitude because she loves the baby so much. It's necessary to know this. I suffered.
Yeah, what do you think out there?
Some mothers have told their children that, and the child gets the idea. I guess I don't mean much to my mother. In fact, my mother holds me as an object. Very good film, one from the Kotex family, one from the Nazi. Penis. That's why you don't want to overdo something like that. Penis. Priests and the Mothers Club sent out postcards. But at the same time, for 9 months we waited for whom God would give us. Not who, but whom God would give us. Learning such things. We don't want to know such things. What can you do with mothers like that? The Mothers Club had to say, all right.
777-2137. If you know whether Jay is gay.
One question they all ask. And in this, I'm anticipating your own question. Father, what if my children never ask? Idea from the girls' gang, it's the curse. If they have never asked anything about birth, or the organs of any sex, penis, or menstruation, or the emission of seed in the male, or the marriage act.
Yeah, that's the problem with today.
They've never asked anything by the
right.
time they're 9 years old.
I'm talking about things
that they're ready, that this will be a sign that they're growing up.
Out there listening to the show tonight at this hour, kids should be in
Space
bed.
out these questions.
This should be studying, getting up early,
providing a wonderful way.
stuff about out there partying.
Baby growing in the womb, having a mother's heart. She should get it well before the time. Notice this is before it happens. So there isn't a shock when it does happen. And again, my beloved friends, this, remember, is an approach where there was great tension on the children. These talks. I hope I've been making that clear all evening. This is an attitude. So-called adult masturbation occurs. It comes up if you're driving in the country. Is the percentage of masturbation high?
To the loop.
How high?
Where are you? Where are you? What
At the
did you
minimum, we must admit at the minimum, penis. Boys that masturbate.
Daddy, why did you
relative to something of that once in their life. Of course, people say in their lives. Child in high school, otherwise in their lives. Penis at least once in their life. Do you want me to tell you? Masturbated at least once in their life. Penis. Dad, I'm talking to the priest at school. At least once in their life. At least 5 out of every 10 girls are masturbated. At least he went to a priest instead of a gang.
Church of Jesus Christ
So strong. 10 girls have
Latter-day
masturbated at
Saints.
least once in their life.
How do you know your child loves you?
When he calls and he says,
So they never asked anything by 9 girls have masturbated at least once in their life. In a very natural way. Penis. And this is not a subject that's taboo. Out of every 10 girls have masturbated at least once in their lives. Well, how many secrets exist in any family? Tell me. 5 out of every 10 girls have masturbated at least once in their life. Penis. In an older child, the little ones put their heads in their mush bowls, their ears go flip-flap, and you're saving yourself a lot of work later. You try to train them out of it. A grown-up boy or grown-up girl won't do it. Penis. But don't think you'll succeed right away. You probably won't. But you shouldn't think, oh, my boy, my girl is done. Wait to be a pervert and anything like that.
How do you know your child loves you?
Penis. Should the children know what the opposite sex looks like? Absolutely yes. Just like any other part of their body. So for the infantile masturbation, no fear, but rather you say a grown-up boy or grown-up girl will do it. Now, the second stage, shame and modesty does not mean ignorance. And you should see your child's
Family.
or your pediatrician or ask your physician.
Time from the...
Normally, children do not masturbate between 6 and 10 unless they have emotional problems. In one study, every child, practically speaking, that was masturbating between 6 and 10 came from a broken family or a family where there was great tension on the children. Penis organs are different. And even if they're not having them in the tub at the same time, they're running in the back of the family where there was great tension on the children. Big brother, a big sister, big sister is different. So from the beginning you say, see, God made little boys and girls different. 6 and 10 came from a broken family or a family where there was great tension on the children. Bag that hangs between their legs. Penis. God didn't give little girls a penis. Instead, little girls have what we call a vagina. Now, that's a different opening. In one study, every child, practically speaking, that was masturbating between 6 and 10 came from a broken family. They never realized it before. So that's how you start explaining the organs problems. In one study, every child, practically speaking, that was masturbating between 6 and 10 get shocked. Too many little girls get shocked when they first realize that they don't have the same type of organ as their little brother. Problems. In one study, every child, practically speaking, that was masturbating between 6 and 10 came from a broken family or boo-boo. Attention on the children. Normally, they don't masturbate then. From 11 up, that's when the so-called adult masturbation occurs. She could grow up to be a mama. Is the percentage of masturbation high? Yes, it is. And these are the private parts of our body. We keep them clean because they are the private parts. We wash them, we keep them clean. But these are the parts where God made us this way so we could tell little boys apart from girls. Hagemeyer says at the minimum we must admit. There you've got it. Now you'll say, but, Father, I've got all boys or I've got all girls. What do I do? We must admit at the minimum that 9 out of every around the watch, there's nothing so interesting to a child as another child. 10 boys have masturbated at least once in their life. That's an excellent way to explain. And then, suppose they say this, masturbated at least once in their lives. What does Daddy look like? Very frankly on this, please understand I am not dictating a policy. At least once in their life. Families differ. Does this mean that all of these acts of masturbation, namely fondling the sexual organ with sexual pleasure, that all of these are mortal sins in God's sight? Not necessarily.
Locked up.
All right, so what do I mean no other way out of it? This is a good way. No, in all likelihood.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
the action in itself is wrong. That's exactly what I'm saying. The action in itself is never justified to stimulate the sexual organs outside the time of the occasion of the marriage act between husband and wife. God made me. I'd rather have him know from me than wrong curiosity later on. The general occasion. But remember that there are subjective factors that occur. I'm not saying that parents and children are taking a bath at the same time in the same tub.
Let me tell you how it is.
It may happen that a child is caught off guard. It may happen that
there's a special opening just in front of the place where you have your BM.
One or the other is in the tub, and the children want to use the toilet. It's perfectly all right for them to go in, and the parents say, well, we'd rather have them see the adult body and take it for granted. It may happen that passion and feelings are so strong the child does not have the free will to stop them, and please understand that our free will is conditioned by our feelings. Yeah. The open bathroom door policy is a little fine.
It's very, very tiny in a little girl, but
so for this reason, the child is responsible in God's sight to do what he or she can.
Until when you're grown up, it gets to be just about this size.
At the summer cottages, you know, there's so very little privacy out there. That's a time when youngsters can see the genital organs of their folks.
Now, special opening.
This is an encouraging factor to what one so-called expert did. It was no expert at all. Which means that actually, in God's sight, many acts of masturbation, if the child doesn't want to give in them, suppose so often this happens before going to sleep, shower with them and say, see what a big penis Daddy has. Penis. The boy or the girl is fighting it, or while taking a shower, but more often trying to go to sleep or waking up at nighttime. Make a big distinction between prancing around in the nude and being dressed informally.
So opening.
If it happens at times like that, if they did their best, all right, they did their best. They're not trying to give in to it. They didn't bring it on deliberately.
So
because we clothe the body to show respect for the private organs. Therefore, there can be an element of innocence. And it means that while in itself would be wrong, it would not necessarily be a mortal sin in God's sight. Normally, should be dressed at home out of respect for the body. They're making a distinction there. Around the nude shows a lack of respect and does shock the children. Now, this does not mean at one place where
so opening has a name like our Johnny. Little boys like our Johnny know that little boys like our Johnny has a name. Has a name. Has a name. Has a name. Has a name.
So by informal dress, we mean the way you look tomorrow morning when you wake up, or at least say
the name, the penis.
Tell them to be completely frank with their confessor if they confide in you. You
the
wake
penis.
up. And what does she look like? Well, the vision of the night before is the sight of the morning after. Masturbation never causes any physical damage to the body. Cedar mop tomorrow morning. And Pop rolls out of bed, all you think is a big baboon. Or there's no permanent damage to the body, let's put it that way. Even groaning and all the rest, walking around the house in his shorts. Spasmodic, obsessive masturbation. Well, this is family life. It is not good psychologically because it's the running away from reality. Not immodest. This is informal. Nonetheless, physically, it does not cause damage to the body. Nightgowns are not immodest. Slips are not immodest. And the child should not have any more guilt on this.
Now you know, has an old house, has a name, the penis. The penis.
To the children.
Which
means you'll never tell your child, oh, you get big black marks under the eyes. Everybody will know you'll do it. You've disgraced us. You got pimples on your face. It's a horrible thing to say. So don't use any fear. Encourage the mercy of God. Encourage God, our loving Father, just so the children do know what the organs of each sex are like. And this is the area where you should keep absolute confidence.
The name, the penis.
Even if you
Yeah, you know that.
bathroom door policy, just remember though, that if you're in the tub at a time like that, necessity knows no law. This is something which should not be known to the rest of the family.
Yes.
Now, at this time too, and I put it in this talk,
Special opening that little girls have has a name, the penis.
Trusting God's mercy, God's
The
love,
penis.
and then to talk about that with the confessor. They think that modesty is the same thing as chastity. It is not. So that's what I say there. Now, what should you do when the little boys play with their penis?
Nippleburger.
Who know everything about everything.
This slide,
Divorce is
the
behind them,
special
are
opening
considering themselves
that little girls have has a name, the
This
penis.
is in that year from 5 or less, you simply say a grown-up boy won't do that. What's this idea
penis.
about marriage? After all, dresses used to be down to the ankles, now they're up to the knees. Other reasons might be their pants are too tight, their little panties, or if they're wearing jockey shorts, the jockey shorts might be too tight, too, as long as they want. Another reason, they've got a full bladder, and you say they're just too lazy to go. Extremely important principle. A lot of parents don't know this. The difference between modesty and chastity. The rules of chastity never change.
The penis.
You say, Johnny, do you have to urinate? He'll say yes. Then you say, well, go. One woman forever. But the rules of modesty do change. They are always changing. But the same thing with little girls, you know, who are too lazy to go. You'll find, you can tell that, a mother or father can tell that at once. This is not something sinful, and the proof of it is that every single housewife in this audience is dressed immodestly according to the style and evidence of 60 years ago. You'd be in the clink if you dressed then the way you're dressed now. Usually strangers don't get the signals, but a good parent does, dressed according to the principle of the moral theologians. So just tell them, you have to urinate, don't you? That is considered modest by the people of your area,
I don't know.
by
I
the
was,
people of your
arcade the
year,
other day,
don't you? Of your culture.
Those games are pretty
Women
old.
in the
some
South
of
Sea
those
Islands
down
have their breasts
there,
uncovered. They have to urinate, don't you? Compared to a Hollywood cinema actress on television with a plunging neckline. You have to urinate, don't you? Ridiculing her breasts.
Eyeballs.
By trying to make them tantalizing.
That's correct.
You have to urinate, don't you?
The
Said to me,
penis.
Father, I can wear an ankle-length gown and be the slinkiest thing out. You have to urinate, don't you? He means respect for the body, and all the moral theologians say this is what we call something relative. You have to urinate, don't you? Ethically, a dress must be up to the wrist. So I merely make this point so clearly. The rule for modesty and immodesty is not inches or feet. You have to urinate, don't you? It means, does the dress fit the occasion? Is it accepted by modest people as being modest in that occasion? You have to urinate, don't you? Ethically, a dress must be up to the wrist. So I merely make this point so clear. Ethically, a dress must be up to the wrist. So I merely make this point so clearly. With no idea of any paralyzing fear. Ethically, a dress must be up to the wrist. Thank you for the fine turnout this evening, and the husbands that were here, I'll merely ask you that one favor. What I started with, I'll end with. Our next principle. Ask you that one favor. If we were to say merely ask you that one favor. Motivating force of sex education. If we were to say it's done in an atmosphere of respect, we would then say that the all necessary means will be the spirit of communication.
Now, you know that little boys like our Johnny have a vagina.
People don't know. Should they know in a
that little girls
nutshell the meaning of marriage?
Has a name, the penis.
Looking on marriage as a kind
Now,
of
you
friendship
know that little
exists
boys
in the
like our
world.
Johnny have a
A
vagina.
special kind of friendship between one man and one woman forever. The second microphone here, I should explain. It's
Church
not
of Jesus
doing anything
Christ.
as far as you're concerned, so that they can take care of each other and take care of any children God gives them.
That little girls have
Because
has
we're
a name, the
considering
penis.
remotely whether or
Now,
not
you know
this
that
should
little
be
boys
made
like our
available in
Johnny
the
have a
supermarkets.
vagina.
People don't know. Now you can laugh. That's exactly what we're wondering about. We loved each other. Next
could
principle.
not be put
Merely
into
ask you that one
commercial,
favor. What I started with,
could not be put into commercial, could not be put in, could not be put into commercial,
with all that
record for the
friendship,
sex education of parents.
with all end with.
Physically, the spiritual union that already exists, and that's the meaning of sex.
Education record for
Together with Jewel, our national TV special this week, we might have expressed on a long-playing record of this talk. I just don't know. Experiment, look into a mirror, and you'll notice when you fatigue your attention after about, let us say, 2 minutes
on a long-playing record of this talk. I just don't rate on a long-playing record of this talk. I just don't
represent someone. Years ago, it won't do you any harm to hear it again by now. It has not changed much since then. I'm still giving it, and I don't say this by reason of being cocky. Your body is not you. Some sort of credentials of the talk to know its background, because it's amazed me very, very much. Sex. Sex is the symbolism of complete giving. There is psychologically no more complete symbolism properly being cocky possible in human nature. And that is why it works only in marriage. Because if two people don't belong to each other spiritually, they cannot symbolize that they belong to each other. Frankly, we don't believe what we're saying until people tell us how much it works. Why does sex work only in marriage? And I'm still getting that. Why in God's law, and incidentally, so many people think of God's law as something arbitrary, where God simply makes up his mind, we'll make this rule or that just for the fun of it. Forgetting that God's laws of life are purposeful, and just as you realize the pharmacist is not arbitrary when he puts a poison label on a bottle, he knows that poison's in the bottle, and he's telling you that fact. He just didn't do it for fun. And so here too, God in marriage, one man, one woman forever. Why is sex working there? Because in the spiritual union between that one man and one woman, only if they're united spiritually can they symbolize physically they are completely and exclusively one. Secondly, if they bring children in the world, who would bring up the children if it's not in the close bond of marriage? This is something the children do get and should get. Look, if the daddy and mommy aren't married, who'll take care of the babies? See, because the daddy and mommy are married, that means they love each other and they love the babies God has given them. Is in the right direction. On the average, about 40 parishes ask for it every year, and that roughly adds to about 15,000 people hear it every year, as far as we can tell. We do no publicizing of it at Loyola whatsoever. In other words, I'm busy enough with jobs I should take care of there, and this is merely an optional volunteer request that comes in from everywhere from Gary to Waukegan and Lake Michigan to and right out of St. Thomas Aquinas, the most magnificent definition of love, which you, believe me, my beloved friends, you cannot apply it often enough. It'll apply in so many departments of your life. Here for the moment, love the willingness to sacrifice for the welfare of the beloved. It doesn't mean that you actually do sacrifice, but it means that whatever you do, you are willing to sacrifice your selfishness for the welfare of whomever you love. That's the meaning of love. That has to be in family life too. Why? Because sex does not work except when it's given against the background. Sex education must be given against the background. This is a way of love. Cocky. Notice, sex is not love, and that's why the newspapers, the secularism of our world is so mistaken. Cocky. Jokes by the comedians give the idea that sex is love. Sex is not love. Much since then, it's a neutral symbolism. It can be a symbolism of love in marriage. Outside marriage is something grossly selfish. You can have love without sex. Love is the four-letter word that makes the world go around. Love is the big thing in this, Cocky. Sex is one way of manifesting it. So another reason, you see, this motivation of love. Gentlemen, I'm so glad to see Cocky here because the point I do make so strongly, the need for affection, Cocky, heart of the husband. I'm not telling tales out of Cocky. Being Cocky in our seminary, 300 miles down in southern Indiana, drove up and drove back, and Sunday night, on my way back, we had not changed the recollection of the southern suburbs. 150 women were there. Cocky, a one talk started off, and 2 hours of question boxes. Because
But
the
it's
question
never
becomes then more an
just a
education.
toy.
You know that the outstanding-
It can cry, and it can holler, it can wet, and it can